This episode of Unscripted is brought to you by Dubby. Dubby is an energy drink that doesn't cause any jitters and gives you a bunch of energy to get all your gaming done, and it energizes me to do Unscripted. So use code Krooked Does Stuff at dubby.gg and you'll get your own Dubby for 10% off, and you can also find a link in the description down below. So thank you, Dubby, for sponsoring this episode, and here's Unscripted. Hello everyone, I am Krooked and I do stuff, and this is Unscripted, the series where I take a completely unscripted look at games and give it a 1 through 10 rating. Today, we are playing Boogerman, a pick and flick adventure. This is a game that exists. It's a dark and stormy night at Professor Stinkbomb's lab, where a machine has been built to save the world from pollution by transexisting it to a dimension excrement. Eccentric millionaire Snotty Ragsdale has taken a job at the lab to investigate its safety and find out exactly where the pollution is going. He has a bad feeling about this latest contraption. This night, his suspicion will come true. So, Boogerman. The first time I ever saw this at the video store that we had locally, called Major Video, I immediately wanted to rent it. Being a young kid, I was like, boogers! And it was funny, and I thoroughly grossed out my mom with it. Booger! I don't remember this being a very good game, but maybe I'm wrong. It's wild how many old games look this way. So I can burp, I can flick boogers, I can hit X to booger. L and R move the screen around, let me look up and down, and that's it. And you can dig through trash. I don't know what the plungers are for. Rad! This is such a 90s game. I mean, really. He collects, like, cans of Beano to increase his gas production. I don't wanna touch that. Okay. Oh, there's so much with this game. So, let's start off with the looks. It looks like a lot of other games from this era that aren't very good. So, I like to think of Earthworm Jim as being a decent visual game, where it kind of does the same thing. It has the main character, and they're going through a world that is, for the most part, not really detailed and just kind of super generic. There are games that do it well, such as Earthworm Jim, and then there's games like Boogerman, where this is... I wish I knew how to describe it. It doesn't look appealing. It just kind of looks like generic backgrounds with the main character. It's okay, but there's nothing here that really stands out visually. The HUD is okay. You can, see Boogerman's face, and I think the cape might be related to the damage taken, because now I have a red cape and it had just flashed. It's been a really long time since I played, so I don't remember how to determine, like, how hurt he is or anything. Okay. I just popped up an outhouse. I don't ever remember getting very far in this game either, if that helps at all. But it shows you, your booger meter in the top left, which is nice and gross. You can go inside noses, which, yeah. Staying true to the theme. The enemies kind of blend in with the environment. I mean, the game looks okay. It's nothing that you would write home about. It's not going to get any awards for the way that it looks. You can booger, though. Controls-wise, it's responsive. So, I mean, that's a plus. Everything works the way that you think it should work. It's not slidey controls at all. It's very okay. It's just, I don't understand why they dedicated a whole button just to yelling booger. The plungers apparently just give you bonus points. So do the pustules. I don't know what those are. Oh, and you can try to build up more, and then you can get an extra life. Okay, that makes sense. Sound. It actually sounds really good. The soundtrack's kind of funky, kind of fun. It has a lot of fart noises. The boogers have a kind of a gross, squishy flick noise, which is kind of what you expect. Digging through trash sounds like you're digging through trash. And, yeah. Milk? Oh. Milk allows you to spit loogies. Okay. So, it's also funny because these, like, ropes here, right? You can't climb them. You can only, like, jump to climb them because they're snot. And the funniest thing to me is, like, imagine a middle-aged guy who's just the grossest person you can, and he decides, I'm gonna don a suit and throw boogers at people. What the? Okay. Okay, that's weird. It's basically just like, you know, that weird guy that everyone's like, stay away from him. It's basically just him in green spandex and a cape and a mask, throwing his boogers at people. So that weird kid in class who would, like, you'd always look over and catch their finger up their nose, and then you'd watch them just shove it in their mouth. That's this guy. But, like, that kid grown up, you know? The enemy design is something. There's not a lot of enemies, and I just realized that the sound is exactly the same in both of the levels that we've played so far, like in terms of music. Which that's kind of sad. I want to try to get through this level as quickly as I can, so that way we can see if there's like a boss. You can jump on enemies to kill them, which, cool. Mario style. A lot of platformers had that, and it was like very clearly trying to give that familiar feeling from Mario games, but I don't know, I like it more when games kind of expand out of their realm of normality and do something new. And I don't think that Boogerman is doing any of that at any point with this. So let's go ahead and... No, I don't want to go back in there! This is gross. Going in noses and stuff. Oh, and I died. Okay. And when you die, you melt into boogers. I mean, I guess that makes sense. And when you die, you start the beginning of a level. So I think you do only have like 2 hits, and when you get hit, that's when your cape starts flashing, maybe? And then you can collect the capes to regain health. Makes sense now. I really just want to get past this level And then we can see if there's anything more to this game. Yeah, okay, so now I'm flashing yellow, and if I get hit again... Oh, I'm not flashing yellow anymore. I just have a yellow cape. Okay. So, I guess when you collect the capes, you technically get 3 hits total, because you get yellow for 1 hit left, you get the red when you're at normal health, which is 2 hits, and then you get the red and yellow flashing cape when you're at 3 hits left. Okay. Well, I don't know if I'm going to get past this. In terms of a score, this game is very much geared towards the humor level of a young kid, and it doesn't have anything in it that I think would really appeal to anyone who's over the age of, I don't know, 10. It's a decent platformer if you want to play one that doesn't do anything new, doesn't tread any new ground, and just kind of does a lot of the same as every other generic platformer. So, when it comes to a score for Boogerman, honestly, this game's like a 4 out of 10. It's not unique, it's not original, there's not a lot going for it, and it's just kind of there. I don't think anyone would really go out of their way to play it today. And yeah, it's just this. So, comment down below. Let me know if you've played Boogerman or whatever the grossest game you've played is. Like this video if you enjoyed what you saw. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so that way you never miss an episode of Unscripted. And click the notification bell so that way you'll be notified whenever a new episode of Unscripted does come out. And with all that being said, I do want to thank you for watching Unscripted, and I will see you on the next episode. Bye!